Hey friends, you know what it's like to have that kind of friend where you can not be together for a long time, but then when you get back together again, it's like you were never apart. That kind of friend that you can sit with for hours. You can go on a long road trip, or you can go wherever and walk, or just sit with each other, and you don't feel uncomfortable at all with the silence. And yet, you know, when you speak to that person, that you're going to get their undivided attention. They're going to listen to you. You have a friend like that? Well, if you know Jesus, the answer is yes. You know, we're finishing up my study here on prayer. There's so many more things we could say about prayer, and we may very well come back to it at a later date. But one of the things I want you to think about, we've been talking about the Lord's Prayer, and it's important to remember that most likely Jesus never prayed the Lord's Prayer. It was not intended to be something that we say. It was intended to be a pattern that we follow, a pattern of worship, a pattern of asking for our needs, a pattern of building our relationships, and of a pattern of praying for other people. But he gave us a pattern. He didn't give us a specific thing. And part of the reason for that is because it differs for each of us throughout time and throughout situations. But one of the things, the Apostle Paul says, pray without ceasing. And I thought about that. I'll be honest with you. When I go to prayer and just have a time of individual prayer with God, I pray with my eyes open. I grew up thinking that was a sin. It's not. But for me, I find it's easier for me to have my eyes open and to be praying and talking with Jesus than to have my eyes closed, because first of all, if I'm tired, I may fall asleep. Secondly, I tend to be more distracted when my eyes are closed than when they're open. That's me. Maybe for you it's different. But one of the things that Paul says is to pray without ceasing. And he's not talking about, as you're driving down the road praying, close your eyes. And he's not talking about closing your eyes all the time when you pray. But what he's talking about is have a habit of praying all the time. And one of the things that I've learned and I'm trying to practice is to imagine Jesus as that friend that can sit with you in silence, that can walk with you. I always, when I'm driving, whenever I'm doing something, I imagine that Jesus is with me, and he and I have an ongoing conversation throughout the day. Sometimes we're totally quiet. Other times I'll just talk to him. I imagine if there's people following me, they think that guy is really weird. He's just in his car all alone talking. But get into that habit, because he's interested in you. He wants to know those little things going on in your life. So I practice what I call conversational prayer, where Jesus and I have conversations throughout the day. Try that in your prayer life and see if it doesn't help you to draw closer to Jesus. We'll talk to you again soon. Thanks for listening. Share this with someone that may be encouraged. Have a great day.